Do not ignore this sacred moment, for I am stretching out my arms and calling you back to the peace you lost long ago. My child, pause in this moment, not because I want you to be afraid, nor because I want you to hastily chase an outward sign, but because there are times when my love must step into the middle of your distraction to remind you that you are still seen, still called by name, still held within a plan full of grace. I am not speaking to you like a strange echo in a crowd. I am speaking to you, the child whose hidden weariness I know clearly, whose buried desires I know, whose questions I have heard even when no one was close enough to listen. Let your heart become still, because my word today does not come to weigh you down, but to lift you from the place of despair that has quietly drained your strength. This moment was not arranged by you. There are encounters in life that seem accidental. Yet, in truth, they are stopping points I have placed along your path. There are words you hear at the very moment your heart has almost become dry. Feelings that suddenly rise when you thought you had gone numb. Times when you intended to move past something, but something inside pulled you to stop. That is not meaningless randomness. I have led your eyes here, awakened a very gentle attention within your heart, and placed before you a quiet pause so that you may realize I have never stopped speaking with you. I called you in the days when you were busy, reminded you in the nights when you were restless, and stayed near you even when you thought you were merely managing your way through each day on your own. My beloved child, a door of intervention is opening, but that door is not built by panic or the fear of missing out. It is opened by love, by faithfulness, by my mercy toward you. I do not hang blessing before you as something fragile that disappears if you are one step too slow. What I have prepared for you is held in my hand, and what comes from me always carries peace, order, and purity. But you need to be awake in order to recognize it. You need to stop long enough so that you do not confuse my voice with the noise of the world. You need to open your heart deeply enough for healing to touch the place you have tried to hide. I do not only want to do something outwardly in your life, I want to realign the rhythm within you, so you no longer live as someone dragged along by anxiety, shame, and regret. I know despair has drawn near to you many times in quiet ways. It does not always appear like a great storm. Sometimes it comes as long-lasting weariness, as the feeling of no longer wanting to expect anything, as the smile you wear before others while your heart has run out of strength. I have seen the times you told yourself you had to be strong a little longer, had to endure one more day. You had to hide your sadness so you would not become a burden to anyone. I have seen the rooms where you sat silently, the roads you walked while your heart was full of questions, the moments when you wished someone could understand you without needing too many explanations. I was there, not distant, not indifferent, not cold. I was there as your father, the one who knows when you need to be reminded that you have not been abandoned. I also see the stagnation that has eaten away at your joy. There are things you once felt excited about, but time and disappointment covered them with dust. There are dreams you once held close, but after many delays, you began convincing yourself that perhaps they were no longer meant for you. There are old habits, old voices, and old memories that have kept you standing still longer than I desired. But today I am calling you out of that unhealthy stillness. I am not telling you to run hastily. I am not telling you to rush into what is not yet clear. I am only telling you to awaken within your heart, to recognize that I still have a plan for you, that what I placed within you has not died, and that the dry season has no right to write the final chapter of your journey. I want to silence the voices of fear, the voices that whispered that you are not good enough, not strong enough, not worthy enough, not close enough to receive what is good. I want to quiet the accusations that keep reminding you of old mistakes as though my grace cannot reach them. I want to remove from you the garment of regret, the thing that has made you look back at the past with painful eyes and look toward the future with hesitation. My child, what has passed can teach you, but it must not rule you. The things you once did wrong can make you more humble, but they are not allowed to bury your hope. The seasons in which you stumbled cannot cancel my love for you. So when I call you in this moment, I am not asking you to prove your faith through a hurried action for others to see. I am inviting you to respond with deep sincerity. Tell me from your heart that you are tired. Acknowledge the places where you are afraid. Give me the things you are still holding because you do not know how to let go. Let me touch the wounds you have grown used to covering with busyness. The reverence I seek in you is not found in a loud voice, but in a heart willing to stop, willing to listen, willing to return, willing to let me lead it out of the paths that have worn it down. I treasure every small step of faith you take, even when that step is only one trembling breath turned toward me. You are in a time of visitation, but this visitation does not always look the way you imagined. Sometimes I come through unexpected peace in the middle of circumstances that have not changed. Sometimes I come through clarity that helps you recognize what needs to close. Sometimes I come through strength that enables you to say no to what once pulled you down. Sometimes I come through a new opportunity, a timely encounter, a gentle answer, an open door after many months and days of silence. Do not limit the way I work. What I give may begin very small, but if you guard it with gratitude and obedience, it will grow into a beautiful shift in your life. I am fighting for you in ways you have not yet seen. I am standing between you and what wants to pull you back into despair. I am restoring order in the places that have been tangled. I am loosening the knots in your thoughts, calming the waves of unrest, and leading you out of the feeling of being trapped. You do not need to understand everything today in order to trust. You only need to know that I am near, that I hear you, and that I have not given up on you. What I am preparing does not come to make you proud, but to restore you, lift you up, and remind you that your life still has value and is still being guided by love that never runs dry. Remain in my peace. Let this moment become the place where you stop running from the very things that need to be healed. Let me rescue you from quiet despair, from the stagnation that has dimmed your joy, from the voices of fear, shame, and regret. I am calling you not so that you will fear losing something, but so that you may receive again what is more precious than any outward miracle, inner life made new, faith rekindled, eyes opened, and a heart resting in the Father's hand. My beloved, hear me. You have not been forgotten. You have not gone too far, and your opportunities have not run out. I am still stretching my arms toward you, and if you return in this moment, You will see that I have been there for a long time, waiting for you with kindness, with love, and with a season of restoration gently opening before you. There are things about your future that I have never revealed to anyone else, because not every ear is permitted to hear what I have placed in your destiny. My beloved, there are chapters I have kept hidden in my hand, doors I have not yet opened before the eyes of people, promises I have not allowed anyone to touch with curiosity or judgment. Even those considered wise around you do not fully know what I am preparing, because what belongs to you does not need the crowd's confirmation before it is fulfilled. I have covered those deep things, not because I wanted to hide blessing from you, but because I wanted to protect the blessing from hands not pure enough to touch it. Some things are too precious to be revealed too early. Some seeds must lie in dark soil for a time before they rise into the light. And now, in this sacred moment, I am leaning close to you to reveal a portion of the next chapter. You did not come here by accident. Your steps, both the ones you understood and the ones you once blamed because they hurt too deeply, have all been seen by me. I allowed certain delays to happen so that you would be here at this very time, in this very place, at this very moment, when your heart is soft enough to hear and tired enough to stop running from my voice. You once thought delay was evidence that you had been left behind, but I say that it was part of the arrangement. There were doors that did not open because if they had opened earlier, you would have entered with a heart still full of unhealed wounds. There were people who left you because they could not accompany what I am about to do. There were empty promises that shattered because I did not want you to build your future on a foundation of falsehood. There were long, silent nights, not to torment you, but to teach you to hear my voice more clearly than the noise of the world. I have seen you pass through pain. I have seen you try to gather yourself after betrayals. I have seen you look at promises people once made and wonder how something sweet could turn into a blade. I have seen you wait for an explanation, an apology, a sign that what you endured was not meaningless. But my child, I want you to understand that not everyone who hurt you has the right to write the ending of your story. Not every betrayal can destroy what I placed within you. Not every closed door is a loss. There are things I allowed you to pass through, not because you were forgotten, but because I was preparing you for what others could not carry. I needed to make you deeper, steadier, and purer, so that when support comes, it will not lead you astray. Let them mock if they want. Let them leave if they are no longer appointed to walk with you. Let them ignore you if their eyes have not yet recognized what I am cultivating in your life. You do not need to cling to approval from people who were never assigned to see your value. You do not need to lower yourself to remain in places I am pulling you out of. You do not need to make noise to prove that you have a voice. When I decide to lift you up, that lifting will carry its own evidence. I will raise you by my hand, not in a way that makes you proud, but in a way that makes everyone recognize that this did not come from human strength. No hand will be able to take credit for what I do in your life. No opponent will be able to say they gave you what only I had the authority to open. I will prepare a table for you in the presence of those who once doubted your worth. But understand this, that table is not meant to feed revenge in your heart. I do not bring you there so that you can look down on anyone with bitterness. I bring you there to heal what was once humiliated, to restore the dignity that others once disregarded. and to show you that I know how to honor the one who silently endured and still did not let go of me. When that day comes, you will not need to say much. The peace on your face will speak. The fruit in your life will speak. The steadiness in your steps will speak. And those who once thought you had no way forward will have to see that I never stopped opening a way for you in the hidden place. I will clothe you with a mantle of light. Not the kind of light that shows off so you can seek praise, but the light of purity, wisdom, and peace. I will anoint your mind with clarity so that you are no longer pulled away by chaotic words, temporary emotions, or sudden storms. You will learn to discern what comes from me and what only comes to make you weary. You will no longer easily give every outside voice the authority to determine your worth. You will no longer let one judgment collapse your whole day. You will no longer tremble before changes I have already seen in advance. The peace I give will not be a thin garment, but a firm foundation within you, where no storm can enter unless you open the door to it. You did not merely survive those trials. I carried you through when you thought you were walking by the last bit of your own strength. There were days when you thought you were strong because you were still standing. But my beloved, it was I who held you up. There were nights when you thought all you could do was endure. But I placed a quiet strength beneath your feet. There were moments when you thought you had been abandoned in the emptiness. But I was there, nearer than your breath, keeping what was inside you from completely breaking apart. You are still here not because pain was weaker than you, but because my mercy was stronger than everything that opposed you. You still believe, even if sometimes only a little, because I preserved that flame from going out. Therefore, do not take this moment lightly. Do not say this is only a random passage of words passing before your eyes. I have drawn your attention here through an arrangement full of love, because something within you needs to awaken before the new chapter. I am calling the courage in you to rise. I am calling the weary faith within you to breathe again. I am calling you to move out of the position of one who only endures and into the position of one who is prepared, guided, and revealed at the right time. What is coming will require not only joy from you, but maturity. It will require you to keep your heart pure when you are lifted, to forgive without returning to old chains, and to walk through the new door without carrying the fear of the previous season. I have not allowed your painful years to become useless. I use them like a refining furnace to purify your intentions, like deep soil for your roots to hold firm, like hidden preparation before public light shines. What others call delay, I call preparation. What others call failure, I can turn into a foundation. What others thought had buried you, I will use as the place where you rise. Let the past remain in its proper place. It taught you, but it is not allowed to rule you. It wounded you, but it is not allowed to define you. It tested you, but it is not allowed to stop you from entering what I have promised. My beloved, the next chapter does not open through fear, but through trust. Lift up your head. Let your heart be renewed. Prepare to walk with the strong quietness of someone who knows they have not been abandoned. I am before you to open the way, beside you to comfort you, behind you to protect you, and within every step you take to remind you that you never have to walk alone. What I have kept hidden is now beginning to be revealed. What I have prepared is now drawing near. What I have promised is now taking shape. And when I do this in your life, you will know for certain that every tear, every long night, every season of waiting, and every time you still chose to believe has been seen by me, preserved by me, and turned into part of the glory I am about to reveal upon you. Every time you remained silent when you could have complained, I saw it. I remembered it. And not one quiet act of faithfulness has been forgotten before me. Not one moment when you chose what was right in secret escaped my sight. Not one time when you held back your words, preserved your gentleness, or chose forgiveness instead of reaction went untreasured by me. The things you thought were small carry great value before me, because they reflect the true condition of your heart when no one is watching. My beloved child, there are victories in your life that no one applauded, no one knew about, no one named, but I saw them clearly. I saw the times when you could have spoken bitter words, but chose to swallow them back to keep your heart pure. I saw the times when you could have blamed me because everything was happening too slowly, because the answer had not come, because the door was still closed, because others seemed to be lifted before you, yet instead of turning away, you kept a trembling silence and continued to believe a little more. I know there were times when you did not understand, times when you were tired, times when you wondered whether I was listening. But in those very moments, when you still chose to believe, though you could not see, you were entering a depth of faith not everyone reaches. That silence was not weakness. In my eyes, it was a very precious form of faith, a wordless worship, a declaration that even though you did not yet understand everything, you still did not want to lose your reverence for your Father. It was spiritual maturity, the sign of a heart being shaped to become steadier, deeper, and closer to me. Every time you gave when you yourself did not have much, I saw that seed fall in the hidden place. You thought what you gave was small, thought no one noticed the cost behind your generosity, thought that kindness would fade into forgetfulness like many other quiet things. But I say to you that no seed sown in love is ever lost before me. No act of kindness is wasted. No sacrifice is forgotten. What you gave in lack carries a very different fragrance. What you offered when you yourself needed support carries great weight in the spiritual realm. I received it, multiplied it, preserved it, and at the appointed time, those seeds will return to you not only in the form of provision, but also as opened ways, peace, support, protection, and connections I prepared long ago. What you sowed in tears will be reaped in joy. What you gave in secret will be answered in fullness. The tears you shed when no one was watching were not meaningless either. You had nights when you no longer had enough words to pray. Only a sob caught in your chest. You had moments when you quickly wiped your tears so no one would know you were hurting. You cried because you were misunderstood, because you were left behind, because you had to wait too long, because you tried so hard and still did not see what you hoped for. There are pains you cannot describe in words, questions you do not know whom to ask, empty places in your heart that only I understand. But I was there. I did not allow your tears to fall to the ground as though they had no value. I kept every drop, because each one tells a story of your endurance, of the love you still held, of the faith you refused to release even when you were weary within. Those things have been placed before me as evidence of a heart that still seeks the light. And I promise you that there will come a day when you look back and understand that not one tear was wasted. My beloved child, I am about to do things for you that no hand can reverse. What I am preparing is not fragile, not easily stolen, not dependent on the opinions of those who once doubted you. When I open a season, no one can close it through judgment. When I place favor upon you, no one can erase it simply because they do not understand your journey. When I decide to restore, what was once broken will no longer have the right to keep you in its old shape. Therefore, I want you to prepare your posture, not in panic, but in deep peace. What is coming is not small. It is not ordinary. It is not merely the answer to an immediate need. And it certainly does not stop at money. It is the restoration of what was depleted, the answer to prayers that seemed delayed, the favor placed in the right place, at the right time, through the right person, and vindication for the seasons when you were misunderstood yet still chose not to lose your integrity. It is confirmation that your journey is not meaningless, and that everything you have passed through is leading you toward a better purpose. I am arranging for someone to step into your life, not as a coincidence, but as a sign of a promise that has been preserved. Their presence will confirm the things I once whispered to you in lonely seasons. When you thought you were merely passing through a wilderness no one could see, that person will not come to disturb you, not to weigh you down, not to pull you far from my peace. They will carry clarity, support, confirmation, and a sense of calm that you will not need to force. Through that appearance, you will recognize that I have not forgotten the things I spoke to you in the hidden place. I have heard even the desires you have not dared to fully express. I prepared that meeting when you still thought you were being delayed. And when it happens, you will understand that every waiting season had meaning, and every delay had purpose. I am also connecting you with helpers appointed for your journey. They may not look like what you imagined. They may come from directions you never thought of. They may bring an opportunity, a recommendation, un encouragement, a door, a confirmation, a resource, or support at the right time. There are doors you knocked on for many years and heard only silence. But it was not because I did not hear your knocking. I was waiting until the right person stood on the other side of that door. I am arranging it so that when it opens, you do not enter through desperation, but through maturity, humility, and peace. Remember, you do not need to force the doors I have appointed to open. What belongs to you will recognize you when my appointed time arrives. And when that door opens, you will not need to fight or prove yourself, because it has been prepared specifically for you. So remain humble, stay quiet, and hold fast to faith. Not everything I am doing needs to be announced before it is complete. There are blessings that need to be protected in silence until they are strong enough to be revealed. Do not tell everything to ears that are not prepared to rejoice with you. Do not give new seeds to hands that once wounded your former seasons. Let me teach you to discern who is allowed to come close, who should remain at a peaceful distance. And what needs to be kept in the secret place between you and me? Quietness is not fear, sometimes it is wisdom. Humility is not making yourself small. It is knowing that every good thing comes from the Father's hand. When you learn this, you will walk more lightly, more peacefully, and more steadily. The moment before you is carrying a shift. Time is not against you. The clock has not abandoned you. The years that seem delayed have not swallowed my promise. I am the one who can accelerate what has been prepared for a long time. I can gather many years of waiting into one season of opened ways. I can cause what others thought would take a very long time to be completed in a moment I appoint. You once thought you were late, but I say that you are stepping into the appointed time of grace. You once thought others had gone too far while you were held back behind them. But I am showing you that hidden preparation is not abandonment. When my time arrives, what was nurtured in silence will rise with a strength no one can deny. And when that happens, you will realize that everything unfolded at the right time. I will fulfill the word I have spoken without you needing to force it, without you needing to exhaust yourself trying to prove anything, without you needing to lose your peace chasing what belongs to you. At the time I have appointed, I will bring to completion what I promised. And hear this clearly, the time is closer than you think. That miracle belongs to you, not because you are perfect, but because I am faithful, not because you have never been weary, but because you have kept returning to me, not because you have never cried, but because your tears have been seen by me. Stand firm a little longer. Keep your heart tender, your hands open, your words pure, and your faith turned toward me. What I am bringing will help you understand that not one of your sacrifices was wasted. Not one seed was forgotten. Not one prayer was left outside my presence. My beloved child, prepare your heart, because what I am about to do will cause you to know that your Father has always remembered, always seen, always heard, and always kept his word.